Recruiter here, the Headless Headhunter, getting you ahead of your job search by reviewing your resumes in this recession. The resume we have up first is an intern. What kind of intern, you ask? Well, and that I will tell you is, I don't know, they gave me like 5 different ones. They had offensive security, they have security engineer, they have dev security ops, so I'm going to assume this is a cybersecurity equivalent intern. And every single intern always asks me, Lee, what do I need to do for X internship? What do I need to do for X internship? And I will tell you right now that unless you are a master's or PhD level candidate, your resume is going to look the same as every other intern, and that's how you get an internship. Is interns every single time overcomplicate what they need. They think they need to show absolute mastery. They need to show how amazing they are and all that other good stuff. But really what you need to show is that you can take directions and criticism and a basic industry knowledge, and that's it. A good intern resume is not complicated, and it's seriously across like every single intern. Like software engineer, cybersecurity, every single intern is going to want these. So what I'm looking for, and I have 20 seconds to find it, is, again, degree. I want to make sure you're still in school. I want to make sure that you can work well with others. I want to make sure that you can take direction and criticism. I want you to note that I did not say lead. At no point am I saying lead. I'm saying take direction and criticism. I need to see that you are a follower. And a basic industry knowledge. What is that basic industry knowledge? Well, for cybersecurity, it would be some cybersecurity practices. For software engineering, it would be some coding stuff. So like Java, microservices, API, RESTful APIs, SQL. Cybersecurity would be the Cyber Plus, maybe red teams, maybe firewalls, that kind of stuff. Accounting would be generalized accounting principles. Again, it's not complex. It's very, very simple. And this is the one thing that almost every single intern always messes up on, is they make this overarching, complicated mess of a resume that tells us nothing. So let's see if I can find it in 20 seconds. And go. Okay, degree, good. AWS, okay, not looking for that. Drove improvements ops, dev security ops, good. SDLC is something I would be looking for. Again, nothing else here. Presented. That one's actually pretty solid. Essentially migrated to Larval. I don't care about that. Dashboard. Okay, so could I move forward with this? I don't know. This is probably a no, because you don't really say how you work well with others and take direction and criticism. And I would probably want a little bit more of very basic security things like firewalls and security practices. So I think it's a close fail, though. This is a yeet and delete. So let me read what this person said. I am an international student in the United States. I know that will mean that my ratio will be skewed. That is very true. Internationals have it way harder. Even a phenomenal resume may get 1 in 100 now. Just rewrote this resume with your YouTube advice. Want a little feedback before I start applying again. Please do not click on any of the URLs. Yep, that's fine. So yeah, your big issue is you just don't tell me enough cybersecurity stuff. Is you imply that you have it, right? So this is a good sentence. I don't have anything wrong with this. But this is a bad sentence. You said, used AWS to deploy a generative AI solution that reduced root cause analysis time from 1.6 hours to 3.5 minutes. What is root cause analysis time? Why is that important to cybersecurity? Don't know, don't care. You have to explain why that's important to me, and you did not. I don't think that's needed. AWS, maybe. They might want some cloud. Maybe a teeny bit of AI. But this is not related to being a security engineer of what I would be looking for, right? This built an LLM classification pipeline in Python to analyze critical and vulnerabilities to assess impact. What impact? Why was that important for security? Was it security impact? Was it vulnerable to other stuff? I don't know. You didn't tell me. Again, you implied. You're saying, this is implying that. No, I don't want you to imply. I want you to show me. I want you to show me that you've done it before. Just like this sentence. This is a good sentence. Drove improvements, well, that part is mid, across dev security ops, good. I'm looking to make sure that's in the same thing. Providing auto remediation automated remediation, which I don't know if I need, for over 5 vulnerability. I would be looking for vulnerability categories in the software development lifecycle, which I would be looking for. So you only have this as a good bullet point. Also, your formatting's bad. This is the formatting you should use. It's on my website. The link is below. This is how you do it. This is not that. But this is your only good sentence out of all of here, with the exception of this. This, again, presented the research and MVP. What MVP? Presented the research and MVP. You mean most valuable product? Do you mean most valuable person? Different industries use the same acronym for different things, right? Or different acronyms for the same words. So I'm going to need you to be very clear. What is MVP in this? Why is it related? And successfully secured a vote of incline to rehire. What does that mean? Does that mean that you did good research and they wanted to rehire you? Or did that mean they're going to rehire somebody else? Again, you are a smart person. I need you to make your resume for not smart people. Okay? Everybody says recruiters are idiots, and that's fine. I don't really care. I have thick skin. But what upsets me more than anything is when somebody says, oh, recruiters are absolute idiots. They don't do blah, blah, blah. But you write it like this. You wrote it like you need a bachelor's in cybersecurity to understand. And that's not what's going to happen. Again, even if they have the technical knowledge, which some managers and recruiters do, well, managers more so than recruiters, we don't have the time to understand your implications. We need to make sure it is blunt and slaps you in the face, okay? I need you to say, as a cybersecurity person. That's why this sentence is good and the rest of them are bad. And then there's nothing relevant here. And then you also don't tell me how you worked well with others or took direction and criticism. Again, I'm not asking you to say, like, I just want to see, met weekly with our team leaders where they would criticize my blank so that I could improve upon it before our next meeting. That's all I need. But right now, this is written in a way that is only comprehensible to other people in the industry. And even then, they don't have the understanding of it. So, that's all I can do for this resume. If anybody needs any more help, you can always join my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST at twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter. That is where I help people out more than just the YouTube videos. And, like, comment, subscribe, share this with your friends, send it to somebody that needs help so that I can help get them ahead of their job search. And let's go to the next resume. This is a resume of an electronics and hardware intern. So, again, the same thing as every intern. Degree, work well with others, take direction, criticism, and a basic knowledge of the industry, which in this case would be like FPGA, R2L, I2C, SPI, assuming I got the right ones, and then like what you've worked on in the industry electronic design automation tools. So, let's see if I can find it in 20 seconds. Although I will say I'm a US-based recruiter. Canadian stuff can be slightly different, but I have gotten people jobs in Canada through my advice. Gotten people jobs in Africa, Canada, UK, and the EU. So it does work. And I think maybe New Zealand, but I don't remember. All right, and go. Okay. Programmed RTL models, good. Verlog, FPG, implemented clock driver scale, into embedded display. Yeah, too technical. This is way too technical. Bistable multi-circuit board. All right, so this would be a yeet. Again, you have some of the tech stuff, but you don't show me how you can work well with others. That is critical. I know every intern is like, why would you have to show that? And the answer is people crash out. Internship's your first time in the corporate world, and they want to make sure that you don't flip the desk and curse people out as you leave because you got criticized. So I'm seeking jobs related to power and energy systems. I'm a fourth-year student. I'm trying to land my first internship. I've been mainly applying to a lot of positions related to my degree. Yeah, so your resume is bad, right? That doesn't mean your skills are bad. It's just your resume is bad. So here's what I want you to do. A, use this formatting. It'll help you out a lot. B, I need you to go back to the drawing board for some of this stuff. This is fine. So first off, except don't bold it. This is actually a fine first sentence, and I liked it, which is programmed RTL, which is something I would be looking for, in Verilog, which I may or may not be, with FPGA to control LAD stuff on FPGA to counting. Now, that stuff I might actually be looking for. I know I am looking for RTL. The problem is, where is your MATLAB? Oh, look, you have it over here. The problem is skill sections don't count. Everybody tries to rely on a skill section. Skill sections don't count. You cannot have anything in a skill section. The reason is we're not looking for keywords, right? So we're looking for qualifications. And a keyword is part of a qualification, but it is not the whole qualification. As an example, a RTL or MATLAB is something I could be looking for, but because you did not show me where you did it, like you did with RTL, which was good, how you used it, again, which you did here, or the reason or result of you using it, which for a implemented time clock is it doesn't count. So keywords, right, need to be shown how you did it and the reason or result of you doing it. And if I do not see how you used it and the reason or results of you using it, then it is not a qualification. And if it is not a qualification, I do not care. So you need to go back to the drawing board, and I need you to write the rest of these like this, because this is actually the correct way to write it. And I need something about how you worked as a team, how you worked with others. You cannot ever just accept that an intern has no experience working with others, because that is a good way for them. You hire them and then they're going to flip the table and ruin things for a lot of other people. You need to show that you have the social skills. I know there is a myth about people going into STEM about like, oh, they're antisocial and they can't. No, you're going to deal with other humans, and one of the core tenets of corporate world is you need to learn how to work with other humans. So that is what I need to see on your resume, is how you took direction and criticism and how you worked with other humans, and then a little bit more stuff like MATLAB and stuff, but down here, this shows me how. So that's all I can do for this one. Again, this is not like the worst resume ever, but this is why you're going to be having problems is, well, you don't show me that you're qualified, and these are the qualifications. Next resume. This is the last intern of this video. The next two are not interns. So this is a operations analyst supply intern, or colloquially described as supply chain intern. So for a supply chain intern, we're going to do the other intern stuff, and we need Microsoft Office, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, data visualization tool, supply chain, and multitasking. And yeah, that's probably kind of it. Maybe some regulations like ISO would be nice, but I don't know if they really expect an intern to have experience with ISO, which is International Standards of Operating Procedures or something. I always forget the acronym, but it's pretty big in supply chain stuff. Anyway, 20 seconds. Let's see if I can find it. And go. This reads like nothing. It's too complicated, but we did say Excel. Too complicated. Carlo, I don't care about Monte Carlo. What about game units? This is not related. Yeah, there's nothing here. So what did this person say? This would be a definite yeet. Process improvement intern. So you overcomplicated this, bro. When I'm looking for a supply chain intern, I'm not looking for DOEEIANREL switch power system planning models and MISO Midwest regions. I'm literally just looking like used Excel, Microsoft Office, and Word to create documentation for our ISO reports to make our supply chain audits simpler. Like, that's it. That's what I'm looking for. You're still trying to brag. You're trying to show me how good and impressive and crazy cool you are. You're not going to. All right? You're not going to. And then we go down here, and you focus so much about, like, Monte Carlo simulator. What is it with candidates and writing Monte Carlo, like, every single time? I think I've only seen one job description that has ever asked for Monte Carlo. But yeah, like, this is nothing. None of this is relevant. Like, I know what you're saying is you've been researching it, you've been doing this, and this is supply chain, but it's not relevant. I got 20 seconds to decide, and if I see Monte Carlo, I value Excel better and more, which you did use here, which is good. So you need to probably, I think you need to redo this whole resume. I don't think there's anything salvageable here. Especially this sentence is sounds like ChatGPT. Maybe it's not, it's irrelevant, but it has almost no context. Like, collaborated in a large-scale initiative under 3 industrial professors to leverage a system approach to develop high-quality solutions for blah, 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 blah. I need you to speak in plain language. There is a time and a place for corpo speak. Your resume is not one of them. If your resume reads like a corporate document, you're going to get rejected. Your resume needs to read like a form you fill out at the DMV. So not only do I not see how you can work well with others, I barely see anything related to supply chain. Now, maybe you're more into industrial engineering, but this is what you wrote, and this is the stuff that I found. So I'm going to need you to go back to the basics and look at what they're actually looking for. Because it's not, unless I really missed it for industrial engineering, I don't think it's Monte Carlo. He's a great guy, don't get me wrong. I just don't think he's relevant for this resume. Because what you're doing, to use a metaphor for food, because I do this before I eat lunch, which is usually probably a bad idea, is you go, if you ever went to a place, let's just say Burger Donald's, right? You go to Burger Donald's, the most common American fast food, Burger Donald's, and you say, I want a cheeseburger. And they say, okay, do you want pickles and relish with that or whatever? You say, no, I just want a plain cheeseburger, just burger, bun, and cheese. And they say, okay. So you place your order, and then you wait at like 2 seconds, and they bring you out a plate of spaghetti. And you're like, what's this? Why did you bring me spaghetti? Like, well, you wanted, this implies that you would like spaghetti. It's like, no, I wanted a plain cheeseburger. So you go back and they make it again and they give you sushi and you're like, that's cool, Burger Donald's, but I wanted a plain burger. And that's the mistake that you made, is you're giving me sushi and spaghetti when I just want a plain burger. And that's what every single person messes up on in their resume, is they try to show how these crazy complicated things are, that how this is related to that and that implies this, but we don't have the time. Not even the industry knowledge. We don't have the time. I need you to be blunt. Just make it basic, right? Used Excel, Microsoft Office, and PowerPoint to create presentations about ISO, which is ISO, and that will get you interviews. And then I also need something about how you could work with others. So, yeah, like you need to redo all of this. Let's go to the next not intern-based resume. This is a resume of a data analyst. Their ratio is 150 to 1 or more, which is not good. That's, again, the ratio is how many applications it takes to get an interview. Your goal should be 1 to 50. Although if you're an international, your goal should probably be 1 in 70, 1 in 90, because it is that bad for international students right now. It's really, really, really bad for y'all because of what the government has done. It was before also difficult, but it's now extra difficult. So what we need in a data analyst is degree, industry, because again, some data analyst industry stuff is a little different, like HIPAA for medical, or SDLC for software, SQL, data visualization, Tableau, Power BI, Looker, stakeholders, explaining technical concepts to non-technical stakeholders, how you solved a problem with data, not what the data is, MS Excel, macros, pivot table, VLOOKUP, Word, Python, R, multiple projects, and deadlines, and a bonus for cloud. So let's see if I can find it in 3, 2, 1. Can't use anything here. Okay. Conducted exploratory data analysis modeling with SQL and Python. Optimizing steel prediction and informing quality control. That's too technical. Build Power BI dashboards, job anomalies. Again, why do I care about the numbers? Everybody puts numbers. Manual reporting efforts. No. None of this is right. Okay. You did not tell me appropriately how and the reason and result of what you did. So, let's see what you wrote. International student, currently on an OPT. I am selecting no for visa sponsorship on the applications form, but still not able to get a call. I wouldn't do that because you do need a visa sponsorship, and they may find out, but that's on you. So your resume is bad. I'm not able to highlight this, unfortunately, so this is the best way I can do, but let's see. Can I, what if I do this? Is this, no, that's still hard to see. So, your resume is bad. Your resume is very bad. The last video I had a good data analyst, right? And I'm going to show you what made a good data analyst compared to this bad resume so we can compare. So the first thing is, why do I care about exploratory data analysis and modeling, right? optimizing and all this other stuff. That's not really what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for you to conduct data to optimize. I need to know that you created data with SQL and Python along with pandas and NumPy, which, like, what is the reason you did this? Like, who was using this data? I don't know. You, again, told me how you got the data, but not what you use the data for. Built Power BI dashboards and Excel pivot reports to track KPIs. Okay, that's fine. And detect anomalies. What do you mean anomalies? What anomalies? In what? I don't know. You didn't tell me. Improving inspection efficiency. Stop with the numbers. I don't need numbers. And what do you mean anomalies for inspection efficiency? What is inspection efficiency? I don't know what you do. I don't know what you did. I don't know what you worked with. I don't know what you were doing day to day. All I know is you did optimization, and that's it. Partner with engineers and non-technical staff to deliver insights, accelerating decision making. Again, that's not what I'm looking for. You're writing this like corporate. So this is bad. This is a good resume, okay? The formatting needs to be a little bit changed, but analyze sales data using SQL and Excel macros through a Power BI dashboard and explain to non-technical stakeholders on how to use it, allowing them to monitor performance and revenue growth. That is an absolutely perfect bullet point. That is from the last video. I think it was the second resume of the last video. But this is how I want you to write it. Look, manage 4 cross-functional projects with managers using Agile, Scrum, and Jira to track progress and ensure multiple initiatives meet all deadlines. The only number they have is this. This shows me what they did. It showed me how they did it, and it showed me the reason or result they did it. This is an absolute cluster of chaos that shows me nothing about what you did or how you did it or the reason or result of you doing it. So, again, you made the mistake of assuming we are looking for keywords and that you could just place them randomly when keywords are a part of qualifications. And the qualification part, which is the how and the reason and result, is sometimes more important than the keyword itself, because they are all together equal a qualification. So this is why your resume is bad, and you need to redo all of it. Is you tried to impress me. You tried to increase campaign engagement by 16%. When all I'm asking you is, did you identify top services by using SAP and presented the key findings by creating an MS Office PowerPoint reports for managing to refine service strategies? That's what I'm asking you. This gets interviews. This does not. This is why you're struggling, besides just the visa issue, is you are struggling because your resume is very, 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 very bad. So pause the video and look at the previous one, scroll back, but that is how you make a good resume, and they followed my instructions to do that. That is their second or third time, I think it was their second, is you're trying to focus on quantification when that's not what I want. I want you to write it in a simple, boring, easy to understand manner that shows me how you did it and the reason and result. Next resume. This is a resume of a machine learning engineer. So what we want with a machine learning engineer is your degree, machine learning, ML. And I do want to be clear here. I need to see the words machine learning and then parentheses ML at least once. Models, LLM, NLP, generative AI, Python, R, C++, Cloud, SQL, TensorFlow, PyTorch, SkibbityLearn, Pandas, NumPy, LangChain, or LangGraph, or Agentic. There's a lot. RAG, customer-facing, stakeholders, clients, be the subject matter expert. And a bonus for CAD, FEA, Git, CI/CD, finite element analysis, and API. If you're wondering why a machine learning job would require CAD, it's very rare. This is why it's in a bonus. But like if you're applying to John Deere or Caterpillar, they will have you create like AI things that go into their tractors and machines, and they want you to have CAD. So again, do you need CAD for 99% of the jobs? No. But if you've done it, you are in a bit of a niche that will help you get a job. So let's see if I can find it in 20 seconds. And go. Okay. Can't use anything here. Bachelor's, fine. Develop a Python library for hyperprinter optimization. What? Why do I need that? Designated develop system with a stateless microservice architecture. I don't need any of this. Deep neural networks, I don't need. Again, I'm looking for machine learning. I know that's enraging, but you need to specify it. This is too technical. Yep, and declined. Your problem is you are implying you have the skills. You are not directly stating it. So, What did you write me? Recently got laid off. Oof. Currently doing leak code and starting to apply to jobs. So yeah, your big problem is nothing here is relevant. Also, I'm confused as to, so this was all the same job? Right, so you were here for 8 years, which is solid. But, like, I'm really confused about this. So were you a staff engineer? So you were an associate engineer first, then a staff, and then an advisory? I don't actually know what this is. Yeah, this resume is too chaotic. So, A, I need you to follow this formatting. B, you can just put, like, staff software engineer, or in the first bullet point, say promoted from X and Y. But there's absolutely nothing I need here besides Python, which you should have capitalized, I think. Nothing here. Oh, reinforcement learning. Yeah, I don't think they know that. Like, I'm on a roll that is close to this, and even then, I don't know if they'd go forward with you. You are, again, implying you have machine learning skills. You are not directly stating you have the machine learning skills. You are not showing me enough of this. I need you to be very, 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 very clear. You cannot just put in this stuff. You need to show me this stuff. This is what they're looking for. Maybe agentic, maybe multi-agent systems, maybe LangGraph instead of LangChain, but I can guarantee you, I don't think I'm ever seen anybody asking for a hyperparameter optimization, leveraging open source optimizers for a deep learning as a service platform. It's incomprehensible. I need you to go back to the basics. I need this stuff. I need to see machine learning. And again, if this is something you did in 2017 to 2019 before you got promoted, then why is it here? Why is it first? Like, I'm so confused. Like, this is so, like, the thing is, I might actually reach out to contact you for a separate role because I actually know my stuff, but no one's going to see this. Yeah, I think I'm actually going to email you about it. I may have a role for you. But the fact is, no other recruiter is probably going to see this. And even then, I'm not even sure if you're qualified or not. I would be taking a chance on with my time, which is fine. It's part of my job. Because you don't show me you have the machine learning stuff. This is literally like a combo of a bunch of different stuff. Is it like more agentic that you're going for? Is this more LLM models? Is it machine learning? I don't know. You didn't tell me. You need to simplify this extremely, extremely, extremely differently, which I may tell you over the call we have. So good for me, assuming you have not found a role by then, because it seems like you know your stuff. You're just not showing it. Right? Like the resume I showed previously for the data analyst, there is no difference between that and how you write this. I need everybody to look at that data analyst resume that was good. That is how you write it. But it's just incomprehensible. So that's all I can do for this one. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. Like, comment, and subscribe. Like I said, send it to your friends. And if you ever need more help, you can join me on my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST on twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video.